All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the weekend AMA live stream that we do every week. For those of you who are new, every weekend I do a live stream where I do my best to answer your questions about software and try to provide a little bit of mentoring for where I can, if I can. And I start off the video with usually a topic of conversation, something that's relevant in my life in software. And today's topic, as people are coming in, is going to be understanding the slow pace of progress. Not so much a question as a venting session, as just sort of trying to explain and how my thought process works. And frustration is really what it is. So we're all working towards something. At least I hope you are, right? And this can go from you learning code to you getting your next job to you progressing in your career. And I'm one of those people that I'm working at it in various aspects. Right now, I'm reading books. I'm doing the YouTube. I'm building courses. I'm also doing tutorials on the channel now. Things like that. I'm trying to grow, and sometimes I'm working with people. Sometimes I'm working with developers who have 20 years experience, 10, and it's easy to get frustrated with myself. Feeling like I'm the worst dev out of them all. And it would even be fair to say that at times. And sometimes it's not, but it's not fair to compare yourself to other people. Like, I know sometimes people on this channel, for instance, like, oh man, I can't wait to get to Dylan's level and this and that. And I feel like I'm never getting there. And, when you're at my level, you'll see developers that have been doing it for 20 years. Like, oh man, I can't wait till this and that. And, it's frustrating, right? Because you work so hard and you want to get there. And this happens for my girlfriend as well. It can happen in any industry where you put in effort and you want the reward for that effort, but it doesn't come right away, right? It takes time, it takes energy. And the main thing that you have to make sure you keep doing is keep grinding. Really, at the end of the day, you have to keep making sure that you're progressing, because you'll get there eventually. Eventually never sounds like a good thing. People want concrete dates, or they want to believe. And you just have to continue to grind and move forward. But it is progress innately is a slow paced item, no matter how fast you work and how hard you work. Progress in something such as a career, progress in a technology, progress in whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish is always going to be slower than you want it to be. And there's something to be said for understanding that and, not beating yourself up about it, right? I've been having a rough week this week because I haven't, I forget this at times. I work so hard, or at least I think I work hard. Some people may think I don't. My opinion, I work pretty hard, and, I wish I was getting more out of it, or I was progressing more than I am now. And, sometimes it's easy to forget where you came from in terms of, the developer you were a year ago, 2 years ago. And it's easy to start kicking yourself. So when that's really that announcement, for not only for my sake, but for everyone's sake, of, hey, I know a lot of us are grinding in our own way, and the grind never feels good until it does, right? It never pays off until it does, and then it all becomes worth it. So when you're feeling like that progress is slow, when you're feeling like you're not getting anywhere, just remember that eventually it does pay off, and continue to move forward. And it's easier said than done, without a doubt. And it's a little bit of a grind, but try not to get down on yourself too much. I had a rough week this week, partially because of that, and my own frustration and not being as good as I thought I should be, or think I can be. But yeah. So anyhow, that's my PSA vent, if you will. Happy Friday to everybody. How's it going, David and Thomas and Matthew? Let's get some questions out in the chat today. So algorithms take me some hours for problems. How good were you? How good were your math grades? I'm pretty good. They were pretty good up until calculus, and then I started getting C's. Do you think math talent is necessary for algorithmic problems? No, but I think it helps. You'll get better with it. You just have to understand iterations and be able to see patterns. So if you guys haven't noticed on the channel, Free Code Camp's a sponsor, or excuse me, Dev Mountain's a sponsor again, and also I am doing software tutorials. That's one of the ways I'm trying to force myself to learn is by teaching tutorials. So the last 3 weeks we've done a Git, we've done a basic JavaScript, we've done a Angular, and now we are going to be doing this Mondays, which will be an ES6 course, ES7, ES8, all combined into one. So how's WGU going? I dropped out of that about a month and a half ago, and it was just a waste of my time, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm a 2-time college dropout, boys. That is not something that I have any regrets on failing with. Honestly, it wasn't that I failed so much as I was doing quite well in it, to be honest. I finished 3 classes in about 6 weeks. I was on my track to finish 2 more, but I just couldn't do it, man. It was soul crushing. Everything about it. I'm glad I went back though, mainly because I always had this thought in the back of my mind, right, where, oh man, should I go back and finish this up, and and once now that I've done it, I now know no, I shouldn't have. So that doubt is gone, and that peace of mind is one of the greatest things $3,500 could buy you. I have been completing one code fight question a day with Java for 5 days straight, but now I'm stuck on almost increasing sequence problem. I think I have a JavaScript solution for that. I did a little bit of code fights this weekend, or this last weekend. It was kind of fun. I'm kind of taking a little bit of a break, playing the new God of War a little bit. That's been exciting and fun. Although Saturdays are kind of my work day. I've also given up caffeine this week. I haven't had any caffeine since Sunday, which doesn't sound that very long for you. Minus some green tea, but there's very little caffeine in green tea. So I'm trying to take better care of my health. Is that a WG mug? It's a $3,500 WG mug, son. Went back to college for $3,500. All I got out of it was this mug, baby. Oh man. Yeah, I did get some certs out of it. Oh man. How many hours a day do you study? I usually put in about an hour a day on YouTube stuff during the weekdays. And I was doing a little bit of reading, but I've been honest with you guys. This last week I've been slacking off my reading time, the hour of reading time that I've been dedicating, and studying time. I've been playing God of War, man. I've been a filthy degenerate this week. Eventually, that's why I only play games that have endings. Like I don't play League of Legends anymore because you can keep. There's always another game in League of Legends. The point being, I usually do 1 to 2 hours a day during the weekdays. Weekends are really when I get my study time on. And on Saturdays, I'll put anywhere from 4 to 12 hours in. It really depends on how motivated I am and what I'm trying to do. But I usually put in about, and on Sundays it varies. But this weekend I'm going to finish up my ES6 to ES8 course. And then I have some filming and video, so I'll be cramming it in. What do you think is more important to learn first? Continue algorithms or tools like Travis or Jenkins for continuous integration? I mean, if you're learning tools like Travis and Jenkins, you're probably interested in DevOps, but if you're not, you should probably focus on algorithms. Thank you, Thomas. I've just been... there's been a lot of stuff going on in the background, man. Not all good stuff, not all bad stuff, just soul draining stuff. You know how it is. Hey Dylan, trying to break into full stack dev with no CS degree. Should I focus on mostly JavaScript and web related technologies or data structures and algorithms? Well, if you focus on data structure and algorithms, you'll be able to break into companies that are higher tier. What I mean by that is those are the companies like Amazon and Facebook and Google and those sort of Fortune 500 companies. Every time I have an interview with a Fortune 500 company, it's always about like binary search tree and bullshit like that. And I do very poorly on them, which is why I'm reading Cracking the Coding interview. But really, you should look at your area, look at your region, and then study some sort of web dev and start building projects in it, building a portfolio, building a personal site. Those sort of things are the basics that you're going to need. Start having an active GitHub. You just have to really show that you're code and that you love to code and that you're currently actively coding and you have the skills. And the data structures, the algorithms, will they help? Yes. And will they help with JavaScript or web related technologies? Yes, as well. I'm learning code and digital marketing, but I keep getting caught up watching YouTube or feeling like I'm missing out. Any advice? I am a little pissed off with myself, so I am a little angry with myself. So, honestly, Otho Leisure, I usually don't have much sympathy for people who say, "Hey, how can I watch less YouTube?" or "Hey, how can I play less games?" Um, it's a self discipline thing. It's something that's completely within your control. I think is why I don't have too much understanding. I think you probably I usually the people this is just my basic assumption. I don't think you're like a 35-year-old dude. You're probably like 20, maybe live at home, and you're able to get by and do that. Um, but really, I would say have some self discipline, start sticking to a schedule, um, and try to be a little bit more of an adult about it. And if there's distractions you can get rid of, do them. I have a whole video on that I did collaborating on Free Code Camp's channel about consistency, and I talk in there about how to get rid of distractions. So I would say go and check it out. But really, just understand this is all stuff within your control. Like I struggle with caffeine. I'm completely addicted to caffeine for the last 15 years. And so this week I stopped drinking caffeine. It's probably one of the reasons that I'm kind of in a foul mood. Is I'm just slowly going through withdrawals. So um, it is something within my control, and it's one of the reasons why I'm finally saying, you know what, I have to hold myself to the same standards I would hold other people to. It's easy for me to say, oh, you should code every day because I can do it. I do it all the time. You should work. I work towards stuff every day. But can I give up caffeine? It's much harder. I have a little bit more sympathy. Yeah, man. So when you're self-taught, I'm guessing. So what I would tell you is define what type of developer you want to be, and then find out what skills for that category of developer, and go and get them. And then you don't have to worry about taking the right path. Sit down and actually define what the right path is. Don't have it in this mythical part of your brain where you're always thinking about it. Go through, spend 4 hours looking at job applications, looking at seeing what's out there in the market, seeing what you want to become, and see what those skills require. Make a list and start knocking them out piece by piece. How would you learn machine learning? I couldn't tell you. Hey Dylan, you're the man. I appreciate that. Loved your video on being a developer in 2018. Question: I've learned HTML, CSS, basic React, and Angular. Any advice to get a job? Have very unique projects in them. Have a good GitHub. Have a good LinkedIn, and have an excellent resume. And continue at a portfolio site. Those are the bare minimum things that you should be doing. And if you're not, you need to do all of them immediately and start Start becoming a unique candidate. That means going to hackathons and having hackathon projects. That means volunteering. That means going to meetups. There's a lot that goes into getting a dev job. So that's sort of my advice to you right now. I haven't done any digital ocean stuff. Hey, how can I watch more YouTube? Hey, there's always more YouTube to watch. um, how am I investing my money? That's a very interesting question. Right now, I'm not really. I have some money in cryptocurrencies. That's really my only investment right now in peer-to-peer lending. But that money is coming out of peer-to-peer lending in the near future. The reason for that is I need to have money sitting in the bank so I can buy a house. So that's why I don't have money in Robinhood, or I've had money in Robinhood in the past in stocks and various micro robo investors like Acorns and Betterment. But right now I'm sort of sitting on my money, and whatever happens with the crypto money happens with the crypto money. I'm not too worried about that. But I'm looking to buy a house as my next big financial investment / purchase. So that's sort of what's going on there. Have I heard of Battlesnake Hackathon? No. So what would you say the skills are I need to become a web developer? I have an excellent video going over this about the must-haves and the nice-to-haves. But if you're talking about just a front-end developer, the basic stuff you're going to need today is HTML, CSS, JavaScript. You're going to probably need to be familiar with Git for version control. You're also going to need to be familiar with a front end framework as well, such as Angular or React, or maybe even Vue. Vue's been picking up steam. That would be my advice for the bare bones minimum. So real estate, yeah. So real estate will be a future. Some of the stuff I'm looking at, I haven't decided. If I want to be buying my own house, like a house I plan on living in, and nice house, and go from there, or if I I'm going to buy an apartment complex of some sort down the road, like a small one, like a 2 or 3 unit, sort of, a house with a back house or a duplex, something like that, and rent that out. That's a possibility as well. The truth is, I don't know what the future holds. What video is that that I had? It's called the skills you need to be a front end developer or something like that. I don't remember it off the top of my head. Let me see. Yeah. How in demand are crypto coding jobs? They're quite in demand. It's one. If I was going to start fresh today, I would be going after that because it's a field that, is new. It's a field that is growing. What are my career goals for the next 5 years? My career goals and my life goals sort of sync up. My career goals are to become a senior developer and perhaps a tech lead, and that's in a professional sense. I also want to grow the YouTube channel and start launching my own web applications and things like that. So that's sort of where my career goals are, and build up passive income streams, which I've been somewhat successful with the YouTube channel. So that's been good in that aspect. Can you get a job after finishing all free code camp topics? So you guys have to look at coding sites like Free Code Camp or anything else as something to help you get the skills to build the projects you need to get the job. So that like people, yeah, the answer is yes. The smoke in the background is the essential oil diffuser. Um, um, thanks for the tip, David. I will. I'm reading a book about buying your first house and stuff like that. So I'm slowly educating myself. Um, God of War versus Far Cry 5. I haven't played Far Cry 5, but God of War, I can say is one of the best games I've played in a while. I haven't had this much fun playing a game since I played Horizon Zero Dawn. That Scrimba course was legit. I'm glad you liked it, man. I have a video. Um, um, I have a video that I'm going to be releasing on Monday or maybe Wednesday. So just announcing that for those of you who don't know, I got contracted out and partnered up with Scrimba.com, and they had me build a introduction to JavaScript course as well as a ES6 and beyond course. So I hope you guys check that out. It's free. I love their platform. They have a unique platform where you can pause the text editor as you're going and then start typing and running the code. It's pretty cool. You'll see. I'll have a video just sort of announcing it on Monday or Wednesday. We'll see. Nice. I'm a senior dev myself, but no YouTube. How do you find the mental bandwidth to create valuable YouTube content along with your job? Honestly, I keep it fun. I keep it refreshing. It's not too time consuming. I mean, these tutorials that I'm working on are much more time consuming than anything I've done in recent times. But when I do topics, right? So like 20 acronyms every developer should know. That's a fun video. You might learn something, you might not. It's a fun video at the end of the day when I talk about scope creep or the Dolan videos sometimes take a little while. Technical debt. These are all things that I think are important topics and should be discussed. And I don't want to take away from the fact that that's what we're doing, but those videos don't take very long in terms of time commitment. Let's say the average video for that might be a 2 to 3 hour time commitment because I have to record it. It's say the average video is 15 minutes or so for me. I have to record it. And it takes maybe 2-3 times. So we'll just say that takes an hour to record. They don't really. We'll say 30 minutes. I have to edit it. That's another 30 minutes. I have to upload it. That's another 30 minutes because I have to put content in and add tags. I have to do all that stuff. I have to create a thumbnail. So it's, each video is 2 to 3 hours. But when I start going and I start doing things like tutorials, that gets way more long. So like TLDR JavaScript, that took me like 6 to 8 hours. TLDR Git, that took me like 4 to 5 hours. It's just sitting there and doing it and not counting even uploading and handling that. So but excuse me. So when it comes to the mental bandwidth, part of it is I make what I want. So there's so many people on YouTube that create content they don't want to create. YouTube for me has always been a way for me to get to enjoy coding, to continue to grind, continue to grow. And part of me continuing to do YouTube, because in June, I don't know if you guys know this, will be 3 years of me consistently making content on YouTube. And part of being able to do something for such a long-term passion project like YouTube is, it helps that, it brings in some money. That's without a doubt. But it's also one of those things where you have to keep it fun. And at the end of the day, I make the videos that I want to make, and I change the content to what I want to make. When I started my channel, I was, a guy who wanted to be a dev, and I was doing Codecademy tutorials, and I grew out of that, and now I'm doing topic-oriented tutorials. And I'm not growing out of that, but I am changing the content to do tutorials where I want to hammer down the basics and learn and build tutorials in that direction. Whether anyone's asking for it or not, right? So these are things that I'm continuing to sort of I have my channel grow with me as I grow and keep it fun that way. Do you think at this point you have enough skills to build anything your jobs require for you to build? I think so in the front end. In the back end, it might take a little bit longer because I don't do back end anymore. I just do front end. Um, so I think where people with YouTube, um, where people lose their way with YouTube is you have to understand a lot of times it's a marathon and not a sprint. And so sometimes people try to sprint. They think if they put out 5 videos a week that their views will double, and in reality, it doesn't really have that much of impact. And on top of that, they try to guess what videos would do better than others and how they might grow. And don't get me wrong, I know when certain topics are going to do better than others at times, but um, they stop trying to make the videos that they want to make, and that's where it gets a little tricky because then you're no longer doing it for yourself. You're doing it for other people, and it's not genuine. It's not gonna work long term. You tired? It's Friday, man. It's been a long week. So for those of you who don't know, usually by Thursday or Friday, my girlfriend knows this very well, but I'm sort of beat down by Thursday or Friday, and I need about uh, a day to recharge, if you will. Um, you know, uh, so it is what it is. Um, when searching for a new job, is it easier to find one when you currently have one or when you don't? It's easy. So not only is it easier to get a job when you already have a job, you'll also make more money and get better benefits. So if you guys are ever thinking of leaving your job without a job, it's a horrible decision, and you're in a much better bargaining position when you have a job. So, is Bootstrap dead? I don't think Bootstrap's dead. You just have to be comfortable with everything. And that's one of the things that I'm going to sort of try and wean myself off is how can I how can I get better with CSS? And in future tutorials, I'm going to lean myself off Bootstrap and start doing it manually. Hey Dylan, Code Tech Caffeine is blowing up. Everyone should check it out. Almost 6,000 members, tons of topics every day. Yeah, for those of you guys who don't know, I have a Facebook group called Code Tech and Caffeine, and Eric, program with Eric, is an admin and an avid poster and moderator, and he does an excellent job. But if you guys are interested in, just seeing what news articles are coming out, you'll see the videos when I throw them up. I'll do one little shout out to myself on there, and you definitely check it out. And people ask for questions. It's a strange thing because people ask for help and advice, and you get 30 or 40 comments on a post, and that's really a cool thing. I don't even get videos with 30 or 40 comments. So community thanks you for your educational and entertaining content. Thank you, man. Do I have any connection to the state of Israel? I do not. Have I worked with Amazon? No, I have failed 2 interviews with Amazon, though. I've been interviewed, I should say. I've been interviewed 2 separate times with Amazon, and have not gotten the job. Cloud Dev for Life. Hey. Yeah, this is gonna be Code Tech Caffeine is gonna be Code Tech and Life. That caffeine free life. Yeah, so I'm slowly going to, so my goal right now is to do 1 tutorial a week. So I am not Jewish by faith, but Jewish by heritage, if that makes any sense. My family, my dad's side of the family is Jewish, yes. Join the cloud. Hey, I would, man. Trust me, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking, what do I live for without caffeine? Just a healthier life, man. Your boy's been doing the perfect push-up. I don't mean to brag. Doing sets of 2. You guys should hear me, man. I'm trying to do it. It's the first time in my life I can't do a pull-up. It's so shameful. And so I'm fucking pulling and screaming, and I'm so close. I feel it pulling in my abs. I'm getting back in shape, boys. Don't you worry. We're getting there slowly but surely. You're gonna be thinking, you're gonna be like, is that Dylan or is that John Sonmez up in that bitch? That's what you're gonna be thinking in a couple weeks. What would I do if I lost my job? That's an interesting question. I'd be very surprised, but from a practical standpoint, what would I do if I lost my job? Well, I have plenty of money saved up, so I wouldn't be worried about that financially. And I currently bring in with YouTube enough money to cover rent, which is my largest expense. So, would I bleed money? Yes, I'd have less money coming in, so the money situation would be covered. But I might move back home for a little bit. I did. So Tampa's always supposed to have been like a 5-year thing. So, and we're going on about 2 years right now in Florida. So I have about 3 years left. But it probably would just trigger. It probably would just trigger a. Hey Tito. Oh, stinker. Probably would just trigger me to head back to the West Coast. Relocate maybe to a tech city like Seattle or SF, or to where my brother's at in Portland. I might even try and just do the like content creator life for a little bit, and why apply for jobs. That'd probably be what I would do. Yeah, I don't know, but I could say this Chinatown bus is it's the first time in my life that if I lost my job, I wouldn't be fucked. You know, so you know, that's a good thing. That's a good feeling. You know, I'm in Portland. Have you heard great things? My brother lives in Portland. I visited several times. I thought it was a very beautiful city. And being from Southern California, I know a lot of people in Portland and Seattle. So that'd be nice. A lot of people have relocated there that I went to high school with in college and stuff. Stinker? Where you going? Uh-oh. Buddy. Oh, no, that's my water. Buddy. We're doing a live stream here. Oh. Oh. That's some deep ass fur. Yeah, April let him in, so he doesn't like when I close the door. Tito waits all weekend to hang out with me because I've been so busy during the weekdays. Yeah, I've seen this Google Flutter stuff. I haven't been following it. It's the latest buzz tech. Yeah, it's. I don't even know what to do with it, man. At what point would someone in front-end development say someone is ready to apply for a job? A couple things. You have to have the basic skills, right? You have to have the basic knowledge base, and to cover that, that'd be HTML, CSS, JavaScript, a front-end framework like React or Angular, version control with Git. That to me is probably the bare minimum. If you have those skills and you have projects built in those, and you have a portfolio of those skills, I think you're about there. I look tired, guys. I'll be honest. I'm sick of you telling me I look like shit. All right. So if you notice, the bags under my eyes are much less than they are. No. So I've been sleeping in this week to help counteract the caffeine. So I've worked a little less this week. So I'm trying to give up caffeine. I'm not trying. I am fucking giving up caffeine. There's no more trying. This is one thing I eliminated when I was learning code is I stopped trying to do things. I now do things. There's no more trying. So, and this is kind of one of those hippie sort of Jedi sort of spiritual, liberal craziness things. But how can I put this? Stop trying and just do. And that's what I'm trying to do. I just said it again. That's what I'm doing. If you want to get in shape, don't try to lose weight. Go and lose weight. We all know what it takes. If you want to have a six-pack, go and get a six-pack. We all know what that entails. That's a great thing about today's modern society is knowledge is free. The knowledge to the world is free. And we all have the ability to get the knowledge, but can we follow through with it, right? That's the hard part. We all know what it takes to get six-pack abs. We all know what we have to do to get straight A's. We know these things. Are they important enough to actually make changes in our lifestyle and our life? We all have to make those decisions. I personally am striving to accomplish the things I want, and what I want right now is to be healthier and continue to grow. So that's sort of what I'm trying to accomplish. What I'm accomplishing. And it kind of segues into the start of this video of, progress is slow sometimes, but it is progress, and consistency will speed it up. As crazy as it sounds. The longer you do something, the easier it becomes, the more efficient it becomes most of the time. It's hard eating healthy. I like pizza too much. Yeah. I'm starting to get heartburn for the first time in my life. Ooh, buddy. Yeah, and here's the thing. I'm not like doing anything crazy, right? So the 3 healthy things that I've started maybe 2 weeks ago is every morning April juices fresh veggies and fruits for me, and that's my breakfast is fruit veggie fruit juice, right? Every morning. Weekends, weekdays, doesn't matter. I've also started doing perfect push-up. Nothing crazy. I'm doing 2 push-up sets right now. But I'm sticking to the perfect push-up, doing 2 perfect sets. And on top of that, I am giving up caffeine. I am, and I'm handling that in a way of, okay, less caffeine. I'm going to feel tired. Let's get a little bit more sleep. So these are actions that I'm taking that will make me healthier and accomplish the things I want. What's going on, Casey? You back? Hell yeah. So Increasing the exercise. I'm also slightly changing my diet, right? I let April do the shopping. She cooks much healthier than I would normally. And I'm also, when I go out to lunch, I get less food, first time in my life I find myself ordering more than just an entree. And part of it is just gluttony. There's no reason for it. Uh so people still cook nowadays. Yeah. I'm not balling that hard. Have I watched the show Silicon Valley? Yes, I watched season 1 and season 2. I haven't caught any of the newer seasons. I think they're on season 5 now. I have not watched Mr. Robot. Is there Panera Bread? Yes. We're getting real sort of strange. Usually these are like, what does heartburn feel like? It feels like hot gas in your chest and throat. What I do for fun nowadays? Right now I'm playing God of War, but Tito, Jesus Christ, cat. Right now, honestly, man, right now I don't do too much for fun. I've played a little God of War recently, but I've been in work mode since I've been down here for about 2 years now, working on YouTube, progressing, um, and moving forward. Um, that may need to change. I may be getting burnt out. I'm not sure. I don't know. It's something I ask myself quite often. But I don't really do anything for fun anymore. I work. I'm very goal oriented. I told myself I was going to work every day for the most part till 2020. So I got a little bit of time left. If you don't learn anything at your job that's useful in the market, should you look for another job? Yes, absolutely. I would say you go and get those skills and be prepared for that other job. But yes. What is the reason you give when you resign? You just you say thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate um, everything we do. I wish you best of luck in your project. Um, it is with regret that I must be giving my 2 weeks effective. Blah blah blah. And you don't have to necessarily say it in the letter, but if they ask, I mean, I didn't put it in my letter when I resigned from my previous role, but they asked and like, well, what's up? I was like, it's just a better opportunity, and that's it. People understand, you know. Loyalty don't pay the bills, I mean, it's cold, but it's true, right? If you get a job that pays 20 grand more, that's 20 grand to help take care of your parents. That's 20 grand to, feed and clothe your children and get a house and, your career. Look, here's the thing. This is the honest God truth. 99.9% of companies, and I don't say 100, because people get upset when I say 100, But 99.9% of companies don't give a shit about you. And if they had to, they'd lay you off. They wouldn't lose any fucking sleep about it. And they would move on as if you never were there. Honest to God. This is the truth, man. And I don't blame them for that. But we as people, as employees, sometimes, they it's a cold hard fact. They either keep you, they don't, and there's a reason they get rid of it most of the time. So the truth of the matter is that if you stick with a company, they may not stick with you. They probably won't. Coding Phase is making $20K a month. Good for him, man. Respect that. Respect that grind. God bless. I'm gonna have to go start taking some notes. What's he making all his money from, Casey? Because ad revenue don't pay that well. He's got sites that are tools with ads. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I've thought about doing stuff like that, and I just haven't got around to it. Someone asked me about what I would do if I was unemployed. Probably something like that. Good for him, though, man. I'd also do blogging. Blogging would be a fun thing to do. Should I start with React or go with PHP? Those are two completely different things. Honestly, you should probably pick up a framework once you're comfortable with Vanilla.js, HTML, and CSS, React or Angular. But yeah, I'd pick up a front end framework, and then you can integrate some back end. That could be PHP if that's what you want. All right, guys. Is that a green screen or is the wall green? The wall is green, but it's used as a green screen. All right, guys. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna go have some dinner, spend a little time with the girlfriend, work on some stuff here. I'll see you next time. Have a good weekend, and look forward to meeting tutorials coming in the near future. Bye, guys.